Tell It to Trevor. It's a captivating podcast hosted by Trevor, featuring engaging conversations and intriguing stories. Join Trevor as he takes you on a journey through various topics and interviews, fascinating guests. Get ready to be entertained, informed, and inspired by the Tell It to Trevor podcast.
Okay, I guess we're recording now. Okay. Welcome, guys, to Tell It to Trevor. I have today on my podcast, TJ Era. Alright, TJ, the first question. What got you into wrestling?
So, I have this story I like to tell. I've told it on another interview too. I feel like a lot of people come in and say, oh, I've always wanted to do this as a child. Granted, I watched wrestling as a kid, but I never envisioned myself being a professional wrestler. So I watched it and I just loved the wrestling just because it was wrestling. I just never sat down and was like, hey, I wanna be a wrestler. So wrestling was a safe haven for me. I had a lot of issues during my childhood. So wrestling has always been that escape for me. So that's really how I got into it. And I know it's not anything fancy how everyone else says, but it's dear to me.
Yeah. Alright, if you could wrestle anyone, who would it be and what show? Well, promotion.
So I have been trying to wrestle on the indies. I have been trying to wrestle Alexander Moss. I feel like he's a really good wrestler. I want to wrestle Darius Lockhart. I want to wrestle Calvin Tankman. Those guys are really good at what they do, and I see myself in a match with them, and I feel like we will have a great flow in a match just because I watch their stuff just that much, just because I know I'm going to face them in the future, so I just watch it just to get myself amped up for it. So those are some guys that I really, really want to face.
Alright, what is your favorite movie? You get a top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
So a top 1 movie is Scream.
Okay.
So Scream is my go-to movie when I'm happy, when I'm sad. It's a movie that I can watch multiple times and never get tired of. I think I binge watch Scream maybe 3 times out of the week.
3 times?
3 times out of the week. It's just the overall vibe of that 90s horror kind of thing going on, which nothing can ever touch Scream. I just don't think any other movie will ever come close to Scream.
Alright. And what is your favorite show, TV show wise?
Yo, so my
top 5 you can.
Top 5? See these lists. Okay, so top 1 I think would be Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things is my top 1, and not top 1, but my number 1 in the top 5. So you have this series set in the 80s, and it's sci-fi horror, and there's monsters, and then there's crazy people, and it's so fun to watch just because I like to envision myself in that era. My number 2 one, I think, would be Reba, the Reba show. It's a classic.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a very good classic. You can get into it, and it has something for everyone.
Yep.
Number 3. See, this is hard. Number
That's
3.
that thinking question.
Yeah. Number 3, I would have to go with probably Rugrats All Grown Up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was a perfect spin-off for the Rugrats that we saw in our younger years. Number 4. See, this is hard. Okay. Number 4. Desperate Housewives.
Okay.
I should have put that further up, but it's here now. Desperate Housewives. It's one of the greatest shows ever. I started watching it one day just because I was curious, and man, I have gone by and watched the seasons 3 or 4 times already, just because it's a good like show. It's like mystery, murder, comedy. Number 5. This is harder than I thought.
At least no one knows who my top 3 are. So.
Number 5 would be a series of unfortunate events on Netflix, the TV series. They took the entire like book series and they made it into like a fleshed out like series over time, and I think it's like 3 seasons, but like it's one of my favorite shows to watch on Netflix just because of the overall storylines and how much they like get into the specifics that happen in the books.
All right. If you were in any video game, which game and why?
If I were in a video game, I would want it to be probably Coral Island.
Okay.
Yeah, like just it's a very chill game. It's a farming simulator. Like you can like build things and like get good grades on your crops, and you can go deep sea diving. It's like a RPG mixed with farming, and it's like on an island, like a tropical island. So like, man, I could use that like a tropical vacation and just farming my favorite things and like raising animals and like being in a community of people who like love you and adore you. I think that would be my top choice to be in a video game.
If you could wrestle any wrestler that is on TV, which wrestler?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Okay.
Kyle is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's actually one of like, spoiler, he's my favorite member of Undisputed Era. And if you ask anyone around me, like anyone from the academy, like they will say, "Oh yeah, he's a Kyle O'Reilly person," because they'll say, "Hey, who's like your favorite person from Undisputed Era?" And I'm like, Kyle O'Reilly. And sometimes unprovoked, I just let them know, "Hey, Kyle O'Reilly was the best member of Undisputed Era." So I really think I could get in there and have a great match with Kyle O'Reilly.
If you could form any faction in pro wrestling that is any indie show, who would it be? Like, if you had to form your own Undisputed Era, which 3 other members would it be?
Okay.
Making me think on this one.
It's making me think. Darius Lockhart. James Johnson.
Okay.
Owen Knight.
Owen Knight.
Owen Knight, and I have one more.
Okay.
I think my uncle Chip Day. Chip Day would be.
Chip Day?
Yeah, we would. I think that faction. Just I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like that faction is probably. If y'all listening, like that is a good crop of talent right there.
Guys, book this faction.
Book it.
Please.
Book it.
Alright, we're going to start this thing called Trev Shock.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you 6 questions.
Okay.
And you got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Alright, ready to start this?
Mhm.
Alright, who was your wrestling mentor?
Ethan Case.
Okay. Who is your favorite wrestler, growing up?
Just one.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero? What was the first show you worked?
PCW.
How many belts have you won?
0.
What is your favorite indies wrestling brand that you worked?
PCW.
What is your favorite type of music?
Rock.
Alright. And the final one, because it's just a personal, just personal, I just want to know, who is your favorite opponent? Since I've seen a good amount of your matches.
My favorite opponent. These are some good questions. I think my favorite opponent has to be Aaron Berry.
Aaron Berry?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Thank you, TJ, for being on the
Of course.
podcast. See you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in to Talented Trevor. We will see you next time on the show.